everybody, I'm Tara from Crooked Row, and it is an absolutely gorgeous day. It's like 61, 62 degrees. In this greenhouse, it feels about 68. Oh, I love it. So I'm gonna take advantage of this warm weather, and I want to pot up some things that are way growing out of their containers. But the very first thing that we are going to do together is I'm gonna make potting soil. Did you know that potting soil went from, organic potting soil, went from $15 a bag to $25 this season? So I'm not paying that. So the compost is pretty simple materials. As I've been going through my potting soil bags, I mean, it's not comprised of very many ingredients. You have usually peat moss or coconut coir. Some of the companies will just use like shredded mulch, and they put in perlite, and sometimes they'll put in like little goodies to kind of help grow, depending on what brand you buy. So I wanted to make my own. I have made my own in the past. It works really, really well. I notice that the plants grow maybe even a little bit better because I add, you know, a little bit of our compost. Today I'm going to, I got, let me see how many cubic feet that is. So I've got 4.4 cubic feet of peat moss. And then I'll throw in some of our compost, some perlite, and maybe a little bit of Biotone starter, or whatever fertilizer you use. I use everything organic. So, but I'm gonna throw that in, mix it up together, and then I'm gonna repot things. But I just wanted to point out that all the money that I have in this was for 4.4 cubic feet is $30, no, not even that, $27. That's what one bag of potting soil is. And actually, let me see. Yeah, that's for 1 cubic foot of potting soil. So 25 for 1 cubic foot, or let's just say 28 for 4.4 cubic feet. And actually a little more because I'm adding more ingredients to it. So let's just say 4.5, maybe 5 cubic feet. It's far cheaper. Now you will want to price out your peat moss, because I noticed, so where did I buy that? I think I know I did. I bought this at Tractor Supply. It's called Black Grow. I'll show it to you. It's called Black Grow. No, Sun Grow. Black Gold. Sorry. And it is, each cube is 2.2 cubic feet. Well worth it. This is something that is, especially if you have places to keep the excess. I'm just going to repackage mine in other bags that I have. I could be really careful and utilize the peat moss bags that I'm getting ready to open, but you can use feed bags. Some people put them in trash cans. I'm gonna utilize mine super fast, so I might just even end up just covering them here in the greenhouse and keep it out of the weather. So I'm gonna get started on that and take you along with me. Let's get started. Okay, now let's go get some compost. Okay, I have 10 of these 3-gallon grow bags that I'm gonna go ahead and fill with my own potting mix. So I'm gonna get to that. Okay, I have planted up my black bags behind me, and I'm getting ready to start planting basil in these used cups from last year. But before I did, I've informed my mom not to watch this video because I wanted to show you one of the Mother's Day gifts that I am doing for her. My mom is a very whimsical kind of person. And when I try to buy her gifts, I try to keep that in mind. And so I ran across this cute little snail planter. Oh, I just love it. And a little mushroom planter. Is that not so cute? But my mom, while she plants some plants in her raised beds, she usually doesn't do herbs. So she loves sweet basil. So I'm gonna do a sweet basil planter and a thyme planter for her. So I'm just gonna show me now just putting all of this together. So I just wanted to tell you really quick, like if your mom is still alive, or your grandmother, or just someone you know that's a mother, go find cute planters. You don't even have to use planters. Just make sure that there's something with a hole in it and put something like this in it. It's such a cute little gift. When I'm all done, I'll show you what it looks like, but let's get started again. Okay, well there you have it. How to make your own potting soil. That is a game changer. So if I can suggest anything to any grower, but especially new growers, it is not a daunting task to do your own potting soil. You saw how easy that was. I'm actually gonna go out and do other gardening work right now. That was a cinch. And what I love about that is that it is so loose. I mean, it's like pouring sugar into a bowl. Like you just put those down into I wanna show you, into your grow bags, you know, and it is that simple. I mean, who can't do that? So I want to suggest that. I also want to tell you that when I transplant, I do not just water things in. I put a little tiny bit of Alaska fish fertilizer in my water. Not tons, because these plants aren't requiring that yet, but I notice that there's a little bit less shock when I transplant them if I go ahead and soak the soil in a very diluted fish fertilizer, liquid fish fertilizer. It just gives them that little pop that they need because they're like, oh my gosh, what's just happened? So I wanted to suggest that. I also want to remind you to keep an eye on the temperatures, because even if you have a greenhouse like I do, my greenhouse is not heated, so really this is more like a cold frame and things can still freeze. So if you're gonna have a surprise spring freeze, either put another cover over your plants or bring them inside, whatever it is that you do. I also want to caution that as the weather starts to heat up and as we are getting a more powerful sun, I will say, you want to make sure you harden off your plants that you've started inside. And hardening off is just you can bring them outside for a few hours in the shade. Make sure, of course, it's warm enough to do that. And then you gradually add a little bit more time and then stick them in the sun for maybe an hour. And then I personally I know this is so long, but I usually take about 3 weeks to harden mine off. And it is a whole game of shimmying your plants in and out of the house or in and out of the greenhouse. The greenhouse ones actually don't take that long because they have had the sun coming through, so they're a little more used to it, but I still try to harden those off as well. And I know that seems like a lot of tedious work, but I usually don't lose plants. I have, to my knowledge, unless my boys can correct me, I don't think I've ever had one plant fry in the sun. So I just like to make sure that everything makes it. So otherwise, what was the point? I know that there are some people who will find a cloudy day, and this does work, by the way, to find a cloudy day or wait for a cloudy day, keep them outside almost all day long, and then it usually takes about 3 days of cloudy days for them to be pretty hardened off. I don't like that method because while most of my plants made it, I did have some that I lost with that method. So when I say I haven't lost one, it's with my whole like 3-week method. I know, again, that's a lot of work, and a lot of people like the lazy gardening method, but I just like for as many of my plants to make it. So anyway, so that is how I pot up all of my things. And I wanted to say too, that I put triple phosphate, Biotone starter, perlite, and our own compost. If you do not have your own compost, and you're gonna go buy compost, I don't know that it's worth doing this because compost is expensive, especially right now. Now, if you have like a source where it's very cheap, yeah, then go ahead and make your own potting soil. But if you don't, you know, 25 bucks a bag is expensive for 1 cubic foot. So great way out of that. Let's have our best gardening season ever. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that you came with me and did this today. And so remember, if I can make my own potting soil and plant up my plants, anybody can. Thanks. Bye.